This is just one of the reasons why silver investors and gold investors can be wildly optimistic about the future. We're going to dig into this chart, and we're going to dig into a lot more because there's a lot going on in the world of precious metals right now. But first, thank you for joining me today here in the basement. It's a big deal when you're here. Please subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, share it with your friends and family, but most important, make yourself at home, right? We love to talk about silver and gold, and let's dig into what I think are many reasons why we can continue to be wildly optimistic, in particular about silver. I believe we will see $60 silver, 60 by April 1st, 2026. And this is just one of the reasons. Peter Krauth shared this chart recently on KITCO. This is the gold to silver ratio. And that red line that you see on this chart, that represents an 80-to-1 gold to silver ratio. Guys, this goes all the way back to the 1970s. As you can see, most of the time, the gold to silver ratio is below that. Now, if we had an 80-to-1 gold to silver ratio right now, we'd be in the $40 to $45 per ounce silver price. But I would argue, we're going to draw a couple different lines on here, that if we got to this level here, let's look at 70, this green line that we have on the chart right now. That does not seem out of the question when looking at this time frame, but even better, let's go with a blue line at 60 to 1. I mean, that is really not out of the question when we look at a 50-year time frame as well. But let's just say we get to 70 to 1. At a 70 to 1 gold to silver ratio, let's get the calculator out here. We would be at, we divide $3,400 divided by 70, we'd be at $50 silver, $48 silver. So this is something that we're not talking about enough. Now, we've got other interesting developments. We're going to go get a live update on the silver price and talk about three big key things that are happening right now with silver that we need to keep a close eye on. Oh, and by the way, I do have a big warning for you at the end of the video. But guys, this gold to silver ratio alone, right? It's like a rubber band that's been stretched just to get back to normal levels, could propel the price of silver higher, because we know the gold price isn't going much lower from here either. Let's go look at the silver chart right now. And again, thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of the basement. What an honor to have you down here with me. And let's pull this up. And we're going to update this chart and see we were up a tiny bit on the silver price. And now, okay, we're up 7 cents in the futures market here in silver. But what we want to look at is this. Okay, we got three big things going on. Number one, this is the 1-year chart on the silver chart. Critical. And we're going to beat this for the next couple weeks because we really need to keep an eye on this. We had 1, 2, 3 attempts. 1, 2, and then right here recently 3 attempts to break through $35 silver right there. Guys, this is critical. In the these are massive weeks and month ahead of us. If we can stay above $35 during that time frame, that makes an environment where we will be off to the races for silver. Why, you might ask? Because nobody, and let's see if we can show this on a chart. Almost nobody. This chart goes all the way back to what, 2004? Nobody bought silver up here between 50 and 40. Just these people right here. Everybody else bought silver down in this range. So we have built this massive base. We've consolidated between $30 and $35 over the last year. If we stay above $35, these people are gone. This section right here, they're goners, okay? They're that little, month or two back in 2011, maybe 3-4 months where we had the silver price. Those people, they gave up. They probably forgot they even own silver. So the key here is that as we get above $35, $36, again, this is the first time we've been this high in 13 years. We don't have anybody. Everybody's in the money, essentially. Everybody's up on their silver. Congratulations, right? Unless you're one of those people that bought back in 1980 when it popped up above, or in 2011, right? You're up on your silver investment. You are in the green. You aren't thinking about selling, because silver investors are very, very, very reluctant to ever sell their silver. So we've got the strong base and we don't have a lot of people up there. Now, the other thing that we need to talk about with silver is just the general macro environment. And we could not ask for a better macro environment for silver. I'm going to tell you all about that in 1 second. But first, I want to say thank you to channel sponsor First Mint. They make our gold and silver broadcast possible. First Mint is a silver mint located in Las Vegas, Nevada. They're owned by First Majestic Silver. That's Keith Neumeyer's juggernaut silver mining company. So the silver that First Mint uses to make their world-class silver products comes from First Majestic. I may have said First Mint. If I did, I apologize. First Majestic Silver Mines in Mexico, goes directly to Nevada and then comes directly to you. And these are cool, unique products. It's literally from the mine to the mint to you. The COMEX and the LBMA, they never get to touch it. They're all unique products. Here's one. We get ready to switch this up for next week, but that is the Year of the Snake. Absolutely beautiful round that they produce at their mint in Las Vegas, Nevada. Look, it's a company you can trust. They've got great prices, great selection, headed up by Keith Neumeyer, right? Everybody knows him in the silver sector. And they have a discount code, VIPRB. You can use that in free shipping on orders over $199. So when we think about silver, right, we just looked at the charts. It looks good, right? But we think about these fundamental factors that are going to press the silver price up. It gets even more exciting, guys. We aren't going to spend a lot of time talking about this, but let's go to the industrial demand quickly. Here we go. Okay, so on this screen, this comes from the Silver Institute. This shows you supply and demand figures for silver going back all the way to 2015, all the way here to 2024. We know the industrial demand numbers are going through the roof, right? I mean, when you look at the total demand, industrial speaking, down here, right? 560 million, 588 million, 2022, 650 million, 2023, 710 million. But that's not what gets me excited. We know that's there. That's a big deal. That will continue. Electronics. So you know the whole story, right? What really gets me excited, I can't move here. There we go. Let's go down here. And there's two things on this chart right here. Let's draw a line. And that would be net physical investment, number one, and number two, jewelry. Okay. Now, so we know industrial demand's going through the roof. I made a whole video about the fact that jewelry demand, which I had no idea, as you can see last year, jewelry demand for silver for jewelry was over 200 million ounces, and demand for silver jewelry is going up. I've spoken to jewelers that I know. The trend is the friend for demand for silver for jewelry. But this is the number we really need to look at. Net physical investment. Okay. Investor demand for silver has been pathetic lately. Back in 2020, let's see, this is 24, 23. This would be 2022. If I move the screen, it's going to move. But a couple times we had investor demand over 300 million ounces. Last year, we were at a pathetic 212 million ounces. However, while that may be perceived as a bad thing, and I get it, I understand, right? Investor demand is going down. the only way to go is up. Okay, the room for improvement in both silver jewelry and in investment demand, these things, right? Investors buying silver rounds, silver eagles, silver bars. I think I do keep a couple things around the house here, right? There's a 10-ounce silver bar. It's been pretty pathetic. But the good news is, the silver lining, if you don't mind me saying it, is that there's so much room for improvement. Okay, and we know industrial demand, it's not going anywhere. Even if it flatlines, we could see investor demand take off. We could continue to see this increased, robust demand profile for silver jewelry as well. So we are still early. And now quickly, a big warning for all of us out there. Okay, these are the big reasons why. I want you to think about this. Why you own silver and gold. And here are just the few reasons why. This financial crisis, right, is that we're going into is for real. Things that will support the price of gold and silver going forward. The ballooning debt, right? The U.S. debt clock. We're approaching $37 trillion in debt. Exploding interest cost. We've got a looming commercial real estate crisis in this country. All those commercial real estate loans that were taken out 5 years ago are coming due, are going to need to be refinanced at much higher rates, and the value of the commercial real estate that underlies it are going down. Now, another thing that nobody's talking about is the residential real estate market that exploded over the last 3 to 4 years, and how that could create massive problems for the economy, because you know what? People are cashing out on their houses. What do they call them? HELOCs. HELOC. Home equity lines of credit. That's what people are living on now. They're cashing out their houses. So people are leveraging up their houses more and more. What's going to happen, right, when real estate prices go down? Because we know all the recent data shows us, right, there's a ton more houses on the market. I think 60% of residential real estate markets actually had a price decline in the last quarter. Okay, the labor markets are weakening. Don't listen to what the Bureau of Labor and Statistics said on Friday, right? Remember, they go back and readjust the 2 previous months every time. Okay, and the consumer is broke. What's the big thing right now? Buy now, pay later, right? Credit cards are maxed out. People are living beyond their means. So now people are resorting, right, to cashing out their houses and buying things on buy now, pay later. The joke in the financial world, because those numbers aren't really tracked all that closely, it's not buy now, pay later. It's buy now, pay never. I mean, guys, it's ugly out there. So the dollar's decline, okay, which is happening right now, we're living through it, is no mistake. The value of silver and gold, when you choose, and it is a choice to value your silver and gold using the US dollar as the unit of measure, using these things, right? We're all brainwashed. Woo, there it is, right? The paper dollar. When we use the paper dollar as the unit of measure to measure the value of that an ounce of silver, is it any wonder? Hold this. Go here. You can do this at home, everybody. Go get yourself one of these here paper dollars. Hold on to it tight because it might just fly away, and get one of these, right? These can be printed into infinity and beyond. This, right? This actual piece of silver from First Mint was mined by people toiling in mines in Mexico, working hard-working men and women. This can't just be created out of nothing, right? This is a value battery. This is a piece of paper. Most of it's electronic. Woo, it'll fly away. So it's no wonder that the dollar is losing its value. Everything that's gone on. And look, it's not your fault, not my fault. Our founding fathers are rolling over in their graves. I love my country. You can be a patriotic American and not be happy about what your leaders have done about the dollar. Put me in that camp. I don't know where you stand on that one. Before I forget, very important also, I want to thank First Mining Gold for also sponsoring Ron's Basement Gold and Silver content. They're a gold mining development stage company with 2 huge projects, millions of ounces in the ground in Canada. Springpole in Ontario and Duparquet located in Quebec. Oh, and by the way, they have another million-ounce project, the Cameron project, also in Canada. They're moving these projects through the permitting phase. It's gold in the ground in Canada. Hundreds of millions of dollars were spent developing these resources. It's a company that I think very highly of. I'm not a financial advisor, but if you're going to check out a gold development stage company, check out First Mining Gold. If you have any questions, reach out to Paul Morris, their Director of Investor Relations, Paul at firstmininggold.com. One final warning. This one, I saved it for last because this just absolutely blew me away. I had no idea this was the case. The U.S. Treasury market right now, right? The debt level that we have right now, the Treasury market is 6 times larger than before the 2008 financial crisis. Guys, the hens are coming home to roost. Silver and gold investors, when we look at the big picture, when we look at what's going on right now with the gold to silver ratio, okay, it's starting to come back into line. Remember, if we get to a 70-1 gold to silver ratio, which is very normal, very, very normal, and gold stays in the 33, 34, 3,500, if it's $3,500 gold and it's a 70-1 gold to silver ratio, right? That means it'll take 70 of these to get 1 ounce of gold. This, my friends, will be worth $50 each in the spot market. Think about it. It's absolutely crazy what's going on. We have broke out into new territory with silver. We have broke through the $35 ceiling. Okay, this was the third attempt. Now, if we go back down to $33, $32 per ounce, $30 per ounce, do you think we're ever going to see a silver price that starts with a 2 again until we get to 200? I think 200 is the next time we're going to see a silver price starting with 2. But if we do, right, because anything's possible, and then we have to go try to get through 35 again, that would be the 4th attempt to break through a top. That would be a quadruple top. Quadruple tops are almost statistically impossible, meaning that the price getting rejected on the 4th attempt just really couldn't happen. Because we're all in the money. Are you in the money on your silver? Are you? Everybody is. 99.9. I know you are. I am, right? Everybody is in the money on their silver. Nobody is wanting to sell. There's very few people. And if you're one of them, hey, listen up, wake up. But you're not. There's very few people that are sitting around saying, if silver hits $36, or if silver hits $38, or if silver hits $44, I'm going to sell. No, right? Now at this point, and that's when we haven't even started. Think about this. We have not even had a taste. We're in an environment where the general public, hasn't even begun to wake up to silver. When they do, remember those investment level numbers we just looked at, right? Investment, talk to your local coin shop, talk to your bullion dealer. Investment demand for silver the last few years has been pathetic. When that just gets back to normal or goes into like a reasonable range, when more and more people wake up, it's going to be Katie bar the door. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you for being here. Thanks for joining me. Please remember, give this a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate when you come down here and spend some time with me when we get to talk about silver, gold, non-fiat related investments. Okay. And the last thing I'll say is this. Do your best. Excuse me. I should have muted the microphone. I apologize if I hurt your ears. Try to not think of this in terms of fiat. Don't think of this as in terms of dollars. We all do, but really, this is an ounce of silver. This has been around for thousands of years. This was money before gold was money. This, in many languages around the world, the word silver is the same word they use for money. This will be valuable 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 years ago. I don't know what we can say about this, right? Now, look, one final thing. When it was this is always very interesting to me. This is not a US dollar. This, if you look closely at the bottom and the top, is a silver certificate. from when the dollar was based on silver and gold, for that matter, right? The US dollar was backed by real money. Oh man, and now you got me going. And that's going on already all over the world. So the Chinese, people are saying, are going to be, we'll save that for another video. Have a good night. Take care of yourself. As always, thanks for joining me here in the basement, and I'll see you next time.